In part 1, we saw how BMW Motorrad had hit a crisis at the end of the 1980s. They had no bike suitable for new riders, their image was increasingly ageing, and their factories in Germany were too expensive to build a bike that was affordable. The answer came from outside Germany, a new single-cylinder four-stroke motorcycle designed by BMW, assembled and built by Aprilia in Italy, and with an engine that came from Rotax in Austria. A radical move, a corporate gamble, and in the end, a bike that probably saved the brand. Part 2 is the story of how the F650 was designed, developed and launched, not from Berlin, but from Noale, Italy. On the 9th of June 1992, BMW Motorrad signed a formal cooperation agreement with Aprilia and BMW Rotax. The deal was clear. BMW would lead design and quality. Aprilia would develop and build the chassis and assemble the finished bikes. Rotax would supply a modified 650cc single-cylinder engine built to BMW specifications. The whole project was codenamed E169, and it was unlike anything BMW had done before. The target? A new Einsteiger Motorrad, an entry-level machine that could do light off-road work, commute every day, and win over a generation that BMW had been ignoring. This was the first time BMW committed to a full-scale European motorcycle collaboration. It wasn't a rebadge, this would be a true BMW, built to full BMW testing standards but manufactured entirely outside Germany. Rotax had already built rugged four-stroke singles for brands like CCM and Can-Am, as well as military machines, but BMW needed something different. They wanted a road-ready engine, smooth, efficient and long-lasting, without the harshness or servicing demands of traditional off-road motors. The result was the Type 654, a 652cc liquid-cooled double overhead cam 4-valve single producing 48 horsepower. Instead of a traditional wet sump setup, the engine used a dry sump system, with engine oil stored in the main spine of the frame rather than inside the crankcase. This approach had two major benefits. It allowed a more compact engine block, which meant better ground clearance without sacrificing oil capacity. And it let the under-engine area stay clean and shallow, ideal for dual sport geometry and fitting a bash plate underneath. More than just rugged, the engine was designed to be civilised, tractable at low speeds, reliable on long runs and simple to service, exactly what BMW had asked for. Aprilia, already experienced with dual sports like the Pegaso, handled chassis development and final assembly. The F650's structure was a steel spine frame with long travel suspension and a chain final drive. Nothing fancy, but it was lightweight, serviceable and matched the new engine perfectly. The styling came from BMW design in Munich, led by British designer Martin Longmore. It was deliberately compact and unthreatening, a low front fender, slim bodywork and a sharply profiled half fairing that gave it presence without bulk. From the start, this bike looked nothing like a BMW, and that was exactly the point. With the contract signed in June 1992 and a 1994 season launch penciled in, the team had less than 2 years to go from concept to showroom. Rotax built early engineering mules to shake down lubrication, gearing and vibration control. Then came prototypes, tested by both BMW and Aprilia riders on Alpine roads, test tracks and the Autobahn. As with most large capacity singles, vibration was always part of the tuning equation. The F650 used the balance shaft, and both BMW and Rotax worked to find an acceptable compromise between tractability and mechanical feel. BMW didn't just check in occasionally. They embedded quality teams at Aprilia's Noale plant, and all parts came from shared European suppliers under BMW quality control. Even the pre-production bikes used for type approval and dealer training were built in Italy. From beginning to end, this was the UnBMW in every sense. In October 1993, at the IFMA motorcycle show in Cologne, BMW unveiled the new F650. It was the company's first chain-drive motorcycle since the 1960s. Their first single-cylinder road bike since the R27, which ended production in 1966, and the first BMW motorcycle ever built outside Germany. The name, Funduro, blending fun and enduro, signalled BMW's new tone, lighter, more playful, and aimed at riders who'd never considered the brand. Deliveries began in late '93. By May 1998, the 50,000th F650 rolled off the line in Noale, all with Austrian engines, all Italian built. From a BMW press release from May 1998, we have some interesting statistics. The average age of the buyer? 35, the youngest for any BMW motorcycle. 27% of buyers were women. 75% were new to BMW. And 29% were buying their first motorcycle. No other BMW model had ever reached that audience. The gamble had worked. The F650 wasn't just different, it was a commercial success and a reset for the whole motorcycle division. The Funduro was just the beginning. Over the next few years, BMW refined the bike, launched the F650 ST Strada, and eventually replaced both with a completely new machine, the F650 GS. Next time, we'll trace the full life cycle of the original F650, the changes, the tweaks, the transition to EFI, and the reason why it was killed off in 2000.